We are ready.
Okay, now let's kick off.
Yes.
Yes, welcome to Stand Tall podcast. And today I'm here with a all-rounded creative industry practitioner. Goes by the name Mr. Rory Crawford, aka IAMRAC. Rory, welcome
Yes.
to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Marshall. Yeah, great having you.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, let's have a chat today and see what we can
Yeah, man. Respect.
tell the audience.
Yes. Anyway, you as I know you as a creative industry practitioner, all rounder. Okay, but before we go in details, I want you to tell me how everything begins for you.
I'm a media consultant. Everything began through, I would probably say, music. I started music first,
Mm-hmm.
and then over time, the need of wanting to get projects done, I started to realize that I actually could do it myself.
Okay.
So I learned how to do it and then kept going. So
Okay.
yeah, that's the way it is.
But you said you start with music because you know that because my background is audio as well,
Yeah.
and I know you in that industry as well. But I want to know if you can give me just a little bit of explanation about, if you're building a sound, how do you get your inspirations?
Again, it'll go back. When I was young, I listened to a different variation of music,
Mhm.
African music from my mum's side, and then there's the Western music from my dad's side.
Okay.
So these two, it was like the rock and roll, the pop, and then there was the traditional stuff, but also in between that there was all the stuff that I was hearing through the radio, and I guess it's just who I am. As a music producer as well, you can't choose. You can, I guess, if you want to, but in my personal opinion, you just go wherever the music goes and you put in whatever influence you have.
All right.
And that's what makes things different from other people's projects.
Okay. So basically, you get your influence, around, the music you hear.
Yeah.
But also, you just try to be unique on your
Yeah,
own way.
unique. It's a feeling. Sometimes when I'm in the studio, there's a sound missing. And there's always that moment when you're like, oh, something's missing.
Okay.
Most of the time, I'll go back in my head and I'll remember all the different sounds that sounded different. And I'm like, okay, this was the drum in like a Tom Petty song. This is how the drum went. So maybe I can do it a wee bit different, but that's original. That's my unique.
Okay.
But it's about going back and finding a touch and putting your touch in a song.
Okay, yeah, as you said, you're going
The
back.
touch, yeah.
You say you're going back and doing that touch.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to know, what are your go-in-between techniques?
I like to experiment. Experimentation for me is what it is, because every day is a learning curve in the studio. You could be, the biggest recording producer you think you are, but every single time you go into the studio, you learn something new. You hear a different sound. You try a different technique. For me, I let it go. I don't go into the studio with my headset on. This is what I'm gonna do. Most of the time, I go into the studio going, all right, this is that musician. All right, he's actually all right. Oh, I don't go and find out what their songs sound like, because they come to me for a different sound.
Yeah.
So all I can do is hear what they've got to offer and try and offer what I've got, which is experimentation. I'll use plugins, the way you'd rig an electric guitar.
Yeah.
I would sometimes rig a voice like that, see how it sounds. If it sounds good, I'll delete it, and then what? I'm not going to go to jail for it. But if it sounds good, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the way I work. I don't go with the book. I go against the grain.
Okay, but hence you mentioned all the plugins. What are your favorite plugins? That at least every project.
Yeah.
These plugins, I need to use these ones. Like I will give you an example of you take people like let's say Andrew Saps.
Yeah.
He loved using compressions and
Yeah.
he loved using parallel compressions. So I want to know what is yours?
So back in my day, I used to have, before I went and did sound production,
Okay.
I had my own way of doing it where I would not go with the setup that you're supposed to use and just put random stuff and see how they sound.
Okay.
But now I use the main, I start with what everyone else, you got the compressions, you got the EQ, the delays or whatever,
so reverbs and
yeah. But now I'm kind of fine tuning myself. I'm every day is a learning curve. I've learned not that long ago that there's a fresh way of doing it to get a really rich quality sound. I'm not gonna tell you because if I tell you, then but I have a way of doing it, and it's the way of.
Tell me.
Right, okay. It makes a huge difference in a song when you gate a song before you use it.
Okay.
Because for me, it's what separates the amateurs from the
way
the professionals.
All right.
A lot of producers, they just kind of do their thing and the song goes out, but it's weak when this, when you hear it on speakers, it's weak. When you gate it, it balances everything. And it gives it that kick. So for me, that's what it is. That and experimentation. So there's the mixing part is the gating, and the creative part is the experimenting, going in, not knowing what's going on, and making up stuff on the spot.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you started as a audio engineer, but I've seen that you do singing as well. You play instruments, but also you do visual productions. You understand? Okay, but can you tell me a little bit of your musical part, playing instruments and singing part?
Yeah.
If you can just give me a brief explanation on that, and where do you learn that from? And
so I'm not a musician in the sense where I've gone to music school. When I came out of school, I applied to 8 different music schools around the UK, and they all rejected me. They were the best in the country. They all rejected me because I didn't have the right qualifications at the time.
Yeah.
So I decided myself that, I'm just going to do the avant-garde way. I went out into the world, into the creative world, and I learned the hard way, doing it myself, making mistakes. What was your question again?
Basically, how do you learn it? So, okay, let me put it this way. Let me rephrase this. Do you have any other, when you are learning, playing instruments or singing?
Yeah.
Do you come across with any of the professionals that have learning something from them?
I was on the right track there. Yeah. So over the years, there's been a few times when I've either gone to shows. And I've heard the music and I felt the atmosphere, because when you go to a live show, you feel the music.
That's music.
You feel it, man. It's a different feeling. It's
Definitely.
a different feeling.
Yes.
That is one of them, and the other one is I grew up in the hotel hospitality, so there was a lot of musicians coming in and out. And I had the chance to sit down with them, play the guitar, learn new techniques, but also get the inspiration and this guy he goes against the grain, he's doing things different. Maybe I should do things different as well. If he can do this, then I can do it my own way.
Okay.
Let's take an example, Tata Dinding.
Yeah.
The way he rocks the shit out of the kora.
Yeah, because I can see Tata, is a traditional musician.
Yeah, but he's the rock and roll version of it.
Yeah, he took the kora and played in a rock style.
Yeah.
Because I can see, rock is very prominent in your style.
Yeah, no, rock is important to me because rock is a big part of an emotion in my life. To me, rock music it's a feeling.
Yeah.
It's not just noise. Sometimes noise is what you need because the noise is the right noise.
Yeah.
Of
course.
Music is all about frequencies. Each person has their own frequency, and if you get the wrong one, you can shit yourself. It's called.
Yeah, I was having like what you said. It's noise.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me that music in general is just a beautiful noise.
Hey, it's just numbers.
He was telling me the job of an engineer is to manipulate the frequencies of that noises to become beautiful to the hearing.
Yeah, and if you dig deeper.
Yeah,
I explain it to some of my friends. They're like, "Oh, why is music production so fun?" And I'm like, it's like playing a game, and they're like, hi, how? And I'm like, because you're creating something out of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, the algorithm of music on a computer, when you look at it closely, it's all numbers. You know, numbers,
Yeah.
different frequencies.
Exactly.
That's what our ears, our computers, just like the computer is the ear.
Yeah, that numbering thing also, yes, I think I can support that. Like for example, if you are doing a mixing,
Yeah.
you know, you either boost the frequency
0.2 or 1.5
or you cut the
yeah,
frequency.
but then when you look at the frequency spectrum as well, each note is a number, is a key.
Okay.
The way our ears process it is through tones and keys and numbers.
Exactly.
Every step we take is a number. It's the amount of, you know, the step you take. There's a measurement to it. It's a form of, to me, it's being a musician, a creative person, or you know, being in the industry. It's like a gift of understanding a certain part of life is important.
Okay.
To me, you know.
Anyway, so how is your transitions? Like basically adding the visual skills on your audio skills, as well as being a musician and a singer and an instrumentalist skill. So how does that enhance you?
It can be a bad and it can be a good. It's a bad in a sense that it's just too much. It fries my brain sometimes.
Okay.
Too many ideas, you know. WTF, I can't control it because I'm hearing a song, I'm getting ideas of a video, and then sometimes, in fact most of the time, it won't come to anything because it's too much. But I have this thing in my head where, because there's so much going on, a lot of the time I have learned over the years to pick up on something that has been ringing for like 2-3 months.
Okay.
So for a song, if I come up with a line or a rhythm or an idea and I still have it for 2-3 months, and I hear it coming out of people's whistling or mouths, you know, friends or family, and I haven't recorded it, for me that means that this has to be registered. That's how I register something good.
Okay.
For videos, it's mainly I'll have ideas and I'll wanna demonstrate it, but video is not as easy as, you know, putting out what you want them to see.
I want you to give me a synopsis of like you have an experience of working with a high caliber artist there who have the international status, and you are able to see and I know that you are able to work with somebody who is just coming up. Literally nobody knows them. So how do you balance that?
I find working with someone that's literally extra virgin olive oil, I like to call them.
Okay.
I prefer that challenge than working with someone that's like, you know, give me this, you know, it's already made it. It's got their car parked outside for music.
Why?
Because I feel like I'm giving more.
I mean, why you prefer working with somebody coming up or
because I feel
instead
like
of somebody established?
Because I feel like I'm giving more. When you go on a street, you have £10 in your pocket. You see someone that needs it, or you see someone that doesn't. Who would you rather give it to?
Well, who needs it?
So this is why I say I don't do music for money. Because if I was to do it, I would have quit.
Yeah, true.
You know, and maybe this is my problem. This is why I'm not like, you know, multi, you know, you know, I got the equipment.
Your works are out there.
My work is out there. I got more work coming. The reason why it's taking ages is because I'm taking time in my life to enjoy life. You know, I'm not going with having to put music out every month. You know, because it's another thing. You know, there's a little bit more to life than just that. There will be a time when that will happen. But like everything in life, you have to find the right moment, you know. And for me right now is the moment for me to experiment and do whatever I want.
Okay.
You know, and that's I'm enjoying it more.